Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time I take a look at the 1996 Toyota Soarer 3-litre GT. If you own the PAL version of this game, this will be called the Lexus SC300. I think it might be the same as the North American version as well. So that's what this is. It's the Lexus SC300 version of the Toyota Soarer. One of several Soarers in the game. We've only had one go round and it was atrocious. So yeah, not too many hopes held for this one. I think the quickest Soarer we're going to have is going to be the big Lexus SC400, the big V8 one, which this one isn't. This is a 3-litre inline 6, probably got a giant turbo on it, which probably means it's got to fall over quite a lot. But we'll find out. In fairness, it can't be much worse than the Mazda Unos Cosmo that we had not long ago. Front engine, rear-wheel drive, 579 horsepower, 1,323 kilos. This does have a racing mod. I really don't like the racing modification on this car. I don't really... there's a lot going on, and I don't think much of it works. But either way, yeah, it's not great. This car is going to have 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Audi TT LM Edition. That car set a time on 26.690. The 4-speed Toyota Soarer / SC300, unlikely to beat that. In terms of this car's competition, there is the one Soarer we've had go around, set a time of 31.950. Admittedly, that had a lot less power. Whether that's going to help or not is entirely to be seen today. And the Mazda Unos Cosmo, which had a 3-rotor in it, that set a time of 31.6, which was not good. I tell you what, straight away, there is a bit of hope for this car. I know it has a lazy 4-speed automatic gearbox, but I think this is a stage 3 turbocharger. Which basically means it remains spooled for longer periods. And as a result, the one thing I'm sort of getting from this vehicle is there is a lot less turbo lag than I had feared. I was fearing this was going to be a car where you have to use a lot of first gear to try and really get it to stick. But no, as it turns out, it will quite happily poos along in second gear, which is quite good. In fact, it'll poodle on so nicely. I don't think you need third very briefly for the straight, but beyond that, it's pretty well controlled. I mean, it's still not quick, is it? But it is a several ton land barge, so I suppose that's to make sense. A little bit of wheel spin there, which isn't ideal. Maybe a short shift into third would help it a little bit there. I'm not too sure. It is setting pretty consistent lap times. Although, yeah, there's definitely some time to be had out of this. It's not bad. I was expecting this to be far worse than it's actually turning out to be. I was really expecting this to be atrocious, but it's not too bad. It's actually pretty controlled if you know how. 31.265 is not bad from this. To be honest with you, 31.265 puts it right around a bunch of other not that bad cars. So I think there was a bit of time lost in this sector. There is a bit of wheel spin to contain with. You can see it there. And once the car starts wheel spinning, it's really hard to get it to stop. Which is sort of the main downside to this, but it's actually not bad. I was expecting a lot worse from that, and we've had a lot worse cars, well, we've had a lot better cars drive a lot worse than that. It's another bloody tie. How many ties have we had in the last couple of episodes? I suppose you're going to get it, like, the more you do, but, yeah, it's an interesting tie, that's the one good thing. But no, it's not bad, that, actually. It really isn't that bad. I think the SC400 is going to be quicker, but, I mean, there's about 0.2 in that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's not bad. It really isn't bad. I've got to keep saying it because it sounds like I'm coping, but honestly, I'm not. That's not a bad car, all things considered. 31.265 puts this into 289th place. It ties with a naturally aspirated Toyota Supra, which is very interesting because they're very polar opposite ends of the scale there. It is slightly quicker than the Supra GT Turbo Limited, quicker than the Celica GT4, quicker than the Subaru Alcione, which is kind of comparable to this in that sort of land bargey Japanese vehicle. It is several tenths up the road from the Unos Cosmo, both Unos Cosmos in fact, because the more powerful one was slower than the two-rotor one. And yeah, I mean, about 0.7 up on the previous one. Again, that made about 410 horsepower. This being quite heavy, that does make sense, because you do need a bit of power to move a car that's as heavy as this, and yeah, it has the power, so yeah, a pretty good result from the Soarer. I am genuinely quite impressed. That it was not as bad to drive as I thought it was going to be. Anyways, that is it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I will be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.